Okay, so give me just a moment here, fam. I'm going to try to kill the background music. Just give me a moment. Hopefully the internet and the computer cooperates with us and I can continue using XSplit, because it's actually pretty nice to be able to add our show to YouTube. So that's something to announce. If you missed last week's show, no worries. It's on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to kill this background music and wait for my producer and lovely wife to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on the sound. Wait for my computer to catch up with what I'm doing. Okay, so it looks pretty good on my end. I just can't hear anything, so I'll wait for that thumbs up or thumbs down. As far as the background music, guys, you may have to refresh the browser that you're using to make sure it goes away. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll find out here in a second. And while that's happening, I'm going to post about the show. Man, I tell you what, who the heck is out here now? We're closed. I don't know who it is. You missed it. 6:05, we're done. So what's up, fam? We are going live on CamUp TV, CamUpTV /users/Rob-Marshall. Jump on, hang out with us. It's going to be guaranteed to have a good time. Say hi, Mrs. Own Punisher. She says hi, so make sure you jump on and join us. We'd love to have you. You do? Did you refresh your browser? Then I need to post it to Facebook. Yep. I just noticed that when I closed the door. Post. And you said you're still getting music, right? Okay. I'll go back and check it again just to make sure that saved my changes. No music? So it did save it. Nice. So I can exit that out. Exit that out. And he's in here. Sweet. Welcome, Texas Tigress 76. Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Own Punisher show. We just started, so get to the introductions here. make sure everything posted all over social media to let people know. We had a cloud comp yesterday at a shop in Radford called Vivid Vapes. Not a whole lot to report. Um, Congratulations to Mr. Sawyer and for winning yesterday, and also Sea Lavender is normally our juice reviewer for the show, and he's not going to be with us today because he went and tried out for the low ohm lunatics team, and he finished second last night in the comp, and he got put on the team today. So congratulations to both those guys. There's a lot more competition there than was expected. Um, the way it looked on the Facebook events, WC had a comp the same weekend, and the way it looked was the majority of people was going to go WC, and Monty. So we went to Vivid because we want to spread out, the vapor love when we go. So it ended up being vice versa. There was more people at Vivid than WC, and hindsight 2020, we should have probably went to WC just to help them guys, support them for their comp. But it is what it is. Cody won. Sea Lavender Christian, our juice reviewer, got second, and Hunter from the Loa team placed third. So big congrats to those guys. Me and the missus has got some work to do, more practicing to do, but we got a good solid foundation, and we'll get back at it. So that's sort of the news there. We want to congratulate those guys again, and I want to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, because if it wasn't for them guys, we wouldn't be doing the shows and all of the stuff that we do. Draco Militia, Draco Mods, we thank you. We thank Two Up, Two Down, TGR Vapor. We thank TVL, Cloud Chemistry Vapor, and Immolation Compwire. So thank you guys for allowing us to, do the shows, go to these comps, make these trips to different shops to help them out. And that's sort of what we've been doing all week here. Is basically helping the customers, whether it's trying juice or a build or their mods not working right or something like that. So we are customers doing the vaping community kind of thing. So let's see. That was probably the big news. Vape Mania is this coming weekend. Unfortunately, me and the missus are probably not going to be able to make that one. We hate it, but it is what it is. We can't really change it, so we're probably going to miss that one. But October the 8th, Cloud9 in Roanoke, Virginia is having a comp, which we will be attending there. So looking forward to visiting with Cloud9 crew again, hanging out with them. So I sort of do have a how-to. Yeah, I know. I sort of do have a how-to for you guys. During the course of our Sunday, we, among cleaning up our mods and getting our builds situated and our batteries recharged after a comp, we was doing all that. So I saved this just for the show. It is my copper able, and I have the goon sitting on top of it. And you can see these Claptons has been in 2 weeks, and you could probably tell they're pretty cruddy and nasty. Cotton's pretty well wore out. you know. So I saved it for the show because there's, I think in my personal view, there's a good way and a wrong way to clean your coals. So I wanted to clean these with you guys tonight and show you how I do it. Because when I first started vaping, the big thing was you take the cotton out, um, and then you heat it up real hot, and then stick it under a running water to shock it, and and it worked. But as I got into messing with Claptons, fuse Claptons, alien wire, and different exotic type of builds, I found that when you did that, to me, it doesn't last as long. Um, I have um, I've had several people come up to me and purchase my Claptons, um, tell me they get a month and a half, 2 months out of a set. And for fused Claptons, I think it's like $12. So $12 for a set of coals for that long is really pretty good deal, I think. So, and of course, the reason they got that length of time out of it is due to how I told them how to clean it. So I want to do that for you guys tonight. Um, we'll touch on a few juices um, that we've not touched on here yet. Fortunately, our juice reviewer, like I said, ain't here, so you're sort of stuck with me trying to describe what this particular type of juices are. Um, so, so we'll be doing that. Welcome, guest 33002. If you're on my Instagram page, you've probably seen the picture of the set of coals I put in my Draco box. I wanted to try them out. These are 24 gauge fused Claptons, and the 24 gauge is actually stainless steel 316L, and I Claptoned it with 38 gauge Canthal, and then I paralleled that with 22 gauge Canthal, and I think I did it on a 3.5. So I wanted to try them out to see if they're cell worthy coals, and if so. But I've been enjoying those a little bit today. But I still got video over here. Welcome, Scuba. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here with us this wonderful, fine afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Big football day. Packers don't play till 8:30, but Tigers won yesterday in a huge fashion, which was nice. So while we're at it, since we got several in the room with us now, how about we do like a virtual hand check of what you're vaping on, mod, RDA, tank, juice, all that good stuff. And while y'all type it up, I'll let you know what we're vaping on. I need to show you guys the box that my wife got. So I'll show you guys in case you guys have not seen this before. These are Draco mods. They're unregulated series boxes with a PWM, which stands for pulse width modulation. Basically, what a PWM allows you to do is when you have a build, say you build a 0.15 set of coils, it allows you to put the build on here, even though it's series box, and you can dial back the percentage of the battery that is applied to that tank or RDA. So it's real nice. You don't, with a series box, you don't have to necessarily build an RDA to match the box. You can actually build what you want and dial the box into where it needs to be to safely operate. Scuba's got the Relo 2.3 with the Aspire 120 and vaping on Nilla nuts, of course, as always. Sweet. How do you like the Relo 2.3, Scuba? I'm curious because we've sold several, and I don't know if there's one up there, but we've sold several, and uh, we've not really got no feedback off of them yet. So I'm curious how you like the Relo 2.3. Right. Welcome, MC Shortcake. We're just to catch you up real quick. Welcome to the room. We're just doing a little virtual hand check, and Scuba's telling us about the Relo 2.3. Nice. So it is a positive mod to have in the arsenal. That's nice. So this is laser engraved. It's the Riddler. Color scheme is purple and green with purple splatter, which she found her Alliance V2 purple and green splatter RDA, and we sort of mix matched the RDA pieces to go with the box, but it turned out really nice, and she absolutely loves it. This is her comp mod. This is what she comps with. And then recently we was able to get her sort of an anniversary present, the Joker and Harley Quinn, and again it's laser engraved, and it is actually red, white, and blue with splatter, and she currently has the Smock TFV8 sitting on top of it. Excellent RD or excellent tank, but it does suck the juice, and the coals are hit and miss. But yeah, and then juice wise, what are you vaping on juice tonight? So I got one of those. So juice wise, she's actually vaping on 2 Up 2 Down straw nana custard, which looks like this. And it'll actually be one of the juices that I share with you guys tonight. So that's her 2 custom boxes that she had Draco made for, and the juice she's vaping on. So let's go with what I've got rocking on here. I've got to put a battery in it because I had to pull the old one out, but I have. Let me get a battery real quick so I can put get a battery in here. So I'm a mech guy at heart, so I'll show you my mechs I got rocking today. I have my TVL Colt 45, and this is actually my comp mod, but I wanted to get it out and clean it and use it a little bit today so it wouldn't get rusty. It's Kennedy 24 RDA. I got a 22 gauge immolation parallel 5 rack with the Cotton Candy Collection cotton in it. Very responsive. Juice that's on this one is I ain't used it all day, so I forgot the juice that's on it. The juice that's on that one is actually mixing berries from 2 Up 2 Down. Alright, so I showed you my Copper Able a minute ago. That's my second mecha I've been using today with the Goon RDA with a set of 24 gauge fused Claptons. These are actually 3-ply fused Claptons. I want to show you guys how to clean those. And the juice that I was running on it before was TGR Vapor Y2K. There's no label on the bottle because it's sort of a juice that he pulled off for a little while, and I'm able to score a bottle every once in a blue moon. So, and the Y2K is actually a kiwi custard. And then on the other mod, because I usually run 3 deep every day, is my Draco Militia Green and Black PWM mod with the Omega tank, with the Claptons I just showed you, and the Cotton Candy Collection cotton. And I was actually running Cloud Chemistry Vapors Cherry Limeade, which I think I'm going to actually fill up real quick. Well, thank you, Scuba. Thank you for dropping in. Wish you could stay longer. So I'm going to actually fill up the tank. I never really did do a review on this Omega tank. So I'll sort of give you like a quick one, because I've had the Limitless RDTA, and then I've had this Omega, and I actually traded the Limitless off because I got tired of filling it every 10 minutes, because I'm a chain vapor. This particular Omega tank, I think they got a couple out. This one's actually called the Calypso tank. With the Claptons, I got it cut back to about 35%. So there's only like 2 volts getting applied to the tank. Great cloud production. The reason I chose to keep the Omega over the Limitless is just it come down to the tank size. The Limitless tank is a little bit smaller than this Omega tank as far as juice, holding a little bit more juice. The build deck's real super easy and nice, just 4 screws, 4 post holes. They're spread out nicely. I did like the wicking holes on the Limitless a little bit better than I do this Omega one. But I also like the Omega because there's 2 holes sitting in between, underneath the coils, that you can use to fill the tank up. So I sort of weighed out what I wanted and what I desired, and I kept the one that had more pros versus cons with me. Either RDTAs are great one. You can't go wrong with either one. I never had any issues out of either one. And price wise, I actually believe we got the Omega for $35 in a B&M shop, and I bought the Limitless for $45, so the Omega's a little bit cheaper. But it does, it does what it's advertised to do, which is a good thing. So my batteries are dead. I'm gonna have to swap batteries in this real quick. This is pretty much my every day of the week box, so I go to it. That's usually the one in my hand. I do have another black and red Draco box that I use to comp with. Usually I only use it for practice and comp. So I try to keep my mods separated. Keep them separated. Okay, anyway, but I usually try to keep them separated so I don't wear them out. But if you're interested in the Draco mods, dracomilitia.com. And if the wife would put that link up there for us, I greatly appreciate it. But their mods, I've talked to a lot of people, and when they hear the price, they sort of gasp for air. But for to be able to get a box, huh? DracoMilitia.com. To be able to get a box, and I think on the website they're 200, and any custom design that you want can be put on it. Um, they are serial numbered, so like if you get a custom design and you want it to be a one-of-one, let them know so they do not do that picture on the box ever again, and they will put one-of-one on your card and birth certificate and certificate of authenticity. This one, the particular one, I got number 25. Um, the internals are very good quality. It's got a carbon fiber cover that covers up all the wiring, which if you get a Draco box, do not take the carbon fiber off. Voids the warranty. It's got a nice battery tray and the PWMs of good quality, the switches of good quality, and also the box comes with a lifetime warranty. Um, Now, if the purchaser um, does something stupid with it, obviously that wouldn't account for be covered under the lifetime warranty. But as long as you're use common sense and watch what you're doing, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. And if you do, it is covered. And turnaround time is absolutely fantastic. Because I've already used the lifetime warranty on my comp box because of something stupid I did. Well, it wasn't all my fault, but usually when I build an RDA, I put it on a regulated device. That way, if there's a short, the regulated device can tell me. So when I built the RDA, I put it on the Fuchai, and it fired it. I heated up the coils just nice and fine. I took the RDA off, put it on the box, and hit the button, and it fried. And come to find out, it was just a screw was too close to the AFC. So um, it was covered. I give it to them on a Saturday. I had it back in a week. So turnaround time is great for these guys. Okay. All right. So that's the virtual hand check that we're having this afternoon, and as people come into the room, if they would be so kindly to share with us. The link did not work.
That link didn't work.
Really?
I even tried to pull it up.
Hold on a second, guys. Let me double check that. You spelt militia wrong. Or somebody did.
Me?
Let me double check before I say anything. Yes, Draco, Militia. I couldn't remember if it was Draco Militia or Draco Moz, but it is Militia.
M-I-L-I?
Yeah, Militia. There's a lot of I's in there. That's how I remembered. But they also have a juice line coming out soon, and they also have a RDTA that's getting ready to hit the market. That I've had the honor of building on, but I've not gotten one to actually vape it and to see how I like it. But we do look forward to that and trying it out. So check him guys out, and if you are a veteran, contact us and you're interested in purchasing, and you will get a discount upon proof of being a veteran. So that is really cool. And then the owner and is prior Marine Corps, and of course the vaping vets. Myself and Cody were prior military, so they take care of their military people, which is awesome. So that's Draco Militia. Um, New stuff coming out.
We have another person
We
on a vaping bit.
Who
Caveman.
is he on
He
now?
switched from LOL to.
All right, so Caveman, which I need his real name, I guess. But it looks like we got another one to Vaping Vets. So that's cool. Um, so let's see other new stuff coming out. TVL's released. If you guys are wondering, this is the Colt 45 that they produced, but they also come out with several new um, styles of mechanical mods. I've not gotten a chance to actually sit down and research, um, and I've definitely not got my hands on one yet. But they do look pretty nice. So if you guys want to check those out, they also have a fantastic blueberry yogurt for 120 meals. It is $20, so I'm not 100% sure if that deal's still going on, but I think it is. If the wife would be so kind to put that link up in there for you guys as well. It is the Vape Lounge 760.com. But they do have several mod choices now, um, some different TVL cap options. Like this one's for the Kennedy 24. This one's actually in brass. This is one of the new caps because it has the engraving on the side to match the engraving in the bottom of the mod, which is super cool. Um, so if you want to check that out, it is the Vape Lounge 760.com. Um, Other new stuff. Let's switch up to. I'm not sure if Two Up Two Down has any other new flavors coming out, but the mixin' berries that they released about a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, is absolutely fantastic. I want to add, it's actually several different berries and ice cream, so it's real nice, and you can always check that out at 2up2down.com. Um, Cloud Chemistry has some new information. Well, not new information, but I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything yet. But watch cloudchemistryvapor.com and pay attention to their juice lines because there is some new stuff coming out from them. So I'm not going to say what it is yet because I'm not sure if I can or if I can. So I'll let it just sit there and simmer with you guys. And TGR um, brought some new testers over for us this week of some juice flavors he's thinking about coming out with. Um, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet on that either. Um, but to get the TGR juice, you need to check the shops that are carrying him because when the FDA thing kicked up, he went ahead and shut the website down. And yeah, and you can contact them on Facebook, and they do have an Instagram page as well. And Immolation has a new wire size. I think it's the 36 gauge, which I'm pretty excited about because I would love to make a set of fused Claptons with Immolation inside and outside. Just to let you guys know about that. Um, so definitely.
Malaysian.com, right?
No, actually, you can buy it at Viper Vape, or the last place I got it from was actually the AV website. I think it's Avid Life. Let me see. I don't want to give nobody the wrong address. Just give me a second here. I want to double check. Um, because it's Viper Vape, you have to hit them at the right time because usually they're out of stock. Um, so I actually Yeah, that's it. So I'll put this one in there. We gotta put the HTT stuff in there, don't we? HTTP avidlife.com. That is the place to get the immolation wire. That's the last place I've gotten it. Quick shippers. I bought it and had it from California in I think 2 days, so that's about the normal time for ordering from California. So that's pretty cool. I think I covered everybody and what I know that's new coming out. I did see somewhere this week that BTC 6 from Sony batteries is coming out, so that's pretty cool. Or they've been out. A little confusion on that part, but I can't wait to get my hands on some of those to try them out. Welcome, guest 38973. Welcome to the show. Sort of catch you up. We're just running through some of the new stuff that our sponsors is coming out with. Drop some links for you guys to go check them out. And like I said, if you guys have any questions about it, we'll try to answer. And if we can't, we'll get a hold of somebody who can answer the question. Yes, guest, that is you. So much love to those guys. And I'm actually going to put this back on the mod. I got my Able. Welcome, Cigar Babe. I'm happy to have an Able back in my life. I've been through a lot of mods in my vaping career, and the only one that I really wished I'd never sold was my Able. So through some horse trading, I was able to get one back. It's not the exact one I had, but I'm glad to have it back in my life. All right, so just to recap real quick, I'm going to show you guys how I clean these fused Claptons. And I actually clean them all the same way now, even the straight wire. I usually tend to go ahead and pull the dead cotton out of it. Try to pull the dead cotton out of it. It's a little slippery. Alright, come on now. These tweezers does not want to grab that cotton. Alright, where's my pliers? Alright, so there are several different ways people clean their coils. And unfortunately, if you use a real sweet juice, they gunk up fairly quick. This is about 2 weeks worth for me, but you can see you can't really, well, you can't see that well on the cam here, and I apologize for that, but you can't really see the Clapton wire that I Clapton with because it's sort of all melded over together. So some majority of people likes to do the shock method. I don't like to do the shock method anymore because it tends to wear out the wire a little bit quicker doing it that way. And keeping form and keeping shape has always been a priority to me. So what I do, now obviously I'm not going to take you guys to the bathroom with me. because I can't pick up my phone and do that. I'm actually having trouble finding my brush. There we go. So what I do is I pull the cotton out, and you tell it's still a little wet. What I'd go ahead and do is I take, get you a battery. I'll use that battery right here because it ain't fully charged. I'll go ahead and put the battery in, and after I get the cotton out, I'll go ahead and heat them up a little bit just to loosen up some of the gunk that's on top of them. And yes, you're going to get a funky taste, but you can tell, even though they're gunked up as bad as they are, they still heat evenly, which is a real positive note for me. But once I heat them up a little bit, I'll go ahead and take the top off and take them to the bathroom. I use a stiff toothbrush and soap and water. So Tanya, my wonderful wife, is going to be keep you guys entertained while I'm gone. But basically, all I'm going to do while I'm in there is soap and water, and I'm going to scrub them down real well. And I'll show you guys what they look like when I get them back. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm got back, guys. Hopefully you was entertained. All right, so this is sort of what I got working with here. Um, Let me cut those out just a little bit. With fuse clapton, sometimes after scrubbing them, uh, some of the wire may come loose. So I always make sure you pay attention to that. This is sort of what they look like now. They're still wet, but they definitely look a lot more improved than where they were at. So after the soap and water, dry off your RDA, and depending on how gunked up they are, you may have to do it a couple times. I don't think we'll have to do it more than once on this, but we shall see.
He said a lot cleaner at the light.
Oh yeah. And like I said, doing it this way versus the heat them up and shock them treatment, I tend to get a little bit more longevity out of the Claptons. So, well, I got them back up here. Pulse them a little bit. As soon as I can get that, there we go. See, I guess after scrubbing them, you can tell that they are not heating quite evenly. So with some ceramic tweezers, we will fix that. Just give them a little squeeze in together there. See if that helps. And I think I may do it. But they are a lot cleaner. And then, you know, if you really want to get down to it, you can get those pipe cleaners to do the inside. I usually just use the toothbrush. But I'll give them a push there. You can tell that they're heating up nice and evenly now. And they look a lot better. And the reason I don't do the whole shock treatment no more is because I find that, I guess the way the Claptons are built, if I shock them, it tends to, you know, jolt the inside of that wire, and it causes it to expand real quick and spread apart and shrink real quick, and it wears out the Clapton wire. So, you know, double check your screws when you're done. You want to make sure that your screws are still tight. And let that cool off before we put some cotton in there. But usually I can get, I'm pretty happy with the set of Claptons. Cleaning them like that, I can get a month out of them easily doing that. Like I said, I had some customers that's purchased the Claptons and cleaned them the way I told them to clean them, and they've gotten a month and a half, 2 months out of it. Oh, well, thanks for coming in. Right. That's it, Captain. You know, I still have those hardcore vapors that, you know, are stuck in their ways, and that's how they want to do them. You can't, they don't want to spend the time to actually, you know, use a toothbrush, soap and water, scrub them and all that. But, I mean, I enjoy building, but if I, you know, that's sort of one of my big things is how long can I make a set of Claptons last? Uh, so, all right, so once that cools off a little bit, I'm going to use the cotton candy collection. Um, yeah, that's it. Um, Sort of gives me a little bragging rights too. You know, you tell somebody, "Well, I got a set of Claptons in there. I ain't changed out in a month and a half," and they go, "What?" You know. So I was a real big fan of Native Wicks Platinum Blend, and I still, I still have, I still carry it because I prefer using this for comps. And my bag's got a hole in it. Daggone. Dang it, man. All right, well, my Native Wicks Platinum Blend, because I've not been able to put this through, you know, test it as far as comping with it, but as far as everyday vape, is definitely excellent for that. A little bit more expensive. I think it's we get $19.99 for two of these pucks, um, but it absorbs. I say it absorbs a little bit quicker than Platinum Blend. Neither cotton has a break-in period, which is really nice, and it's always nice and fluffy when it comes out, and easy to work with, easy to wick with. The cotton candy collection is a little bit more brittle, as far as like if you like rolling your cotton pretty tight in your coils. Um, if you're not careful, it will pull out, um, come apart while you're trying to wick it, than the platinum blend. But it is excellent cotton. I do recommend it. Um, I'm a fan of it. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to stick my brand new battery in here. My screen just went black. Welcome, Knurled Nut. I don't think I said hi to you, Gopher God, or Captain Clapton yet. So hello, guys, and thank you for coming in and hanging with us tonight. So I got my battery in, and I usually cut off when I go to wick. The way it comes out is it's rolled in a spiral. Usually what I do is I'll pull out the piece as long as my index finger, and then I'll cut it that long. That way I have enough room to wick. I can pull off a piece of it and wick both sides of the RDA is what I'm trying to say. So I'll twist the end of that, and then I'll thread it in here. I'll try to hold this up so you guys can see. And I'll pull it through, leave me a little bit on the end to cut with, tug it back this way just a tad. Alright, find my scissors. And I like a little extra cotton in there, so I always leave a little bit more than what the length of the outside of the mod. So, and then I'll take the leftover from that piece, and I will wick the other side same way. Hey Doc, how's it going, buddy? Long time no see. Long time no see, buddy. How is Callie doing out there? So once I get that threaded in there, then I'll snip it. And if you guys are wondering who Doc is, he is one of the TVL guys from out in California. So if there's any questions about TVL or their juice, and I can't answer it, he is definitely the guy to ask because he would know. All right, so once I find got the cotton in there, get it all nice in there, I'll go ahead and tuck it up underneath here. I'm blind as a bat, so I'll get it tucked in there real nice and neat wise.
Ooh, look at that man.
I can't because I'm watching chat. Hold on a second. Hold. Oh, now my computer don't want to work. Yeah, I have nothing. So I can't see. Alright, so now that I got the cotton in there, I'll sort of show you guys the absorption rate. I really don't want to make a mess on my computer, so sometimes I can get a little extravagant when applying juice to cotton. You're going to have to come down with it. There we go. I need a computer like yours. That's got a huge screen. I can see everything.
Mhm.
So I was just showing everybody how I prefer to clean my coals versus the
There
shot.
you go.
Oh, he's got the stackable TVL. You can sort of see. One of these days, I'm going to get my camera working on here. Well, the only reason why I'm not using my good camera instead and using the webcam on here is because we figured out that it's not necessarily all the internet fault as far as speed wise, but my computer will not handle all the different programs I have to have opened up to run the cam or the camera. So eventually, it is in our plans to get me a better computer to do that. So I can use that camera because that's what we bought the camera to do. Um, so yeah, just showing these guys how I prefer to clean my coals, and I'll give this a little extra. She fires right now. Yeah. I gotta say, before TVL come out with their stackable barrel, um, I did purchase the Omega. I think I only give um, 35, $40 for the mod. It wasn't that expensive. Um, but, and I was very, very unhappy with it. I ended up trading it, if that tells you anything. Um, oh, good stuff. All right, so I ended up using it, trying to use it, and the biggest issue I had with the Omega stackable was the firing button. It was very inconsistent, and I tried everything known to man to try to fix it. I tried changing the spring. I tried um, sanding it. I tried polishing it. I switched it over to the spare one that came with it when I bought it. I tried everything under the moon to try to get it to where it would be consistent, and it just was not consistent at all. So I ended up trading it to someone who has more patience, I guess, than I do. But so I do not recommend the Omega unless you really do enjoy messing with the button all the time. Um, I loaned it out several times to a girl that she used it to comp with, and even at first she didn't have no issues with the button whatsoever. Every time she hit the button, it fired, and then after about the half a day, half an evening of using it and comping with it, then she started having trouble with it. Um, so needless to say, save your money for a good stackable mod. And definitely, I've not been able to play with one or get my hands on one yet from TVL, but um, I'm sure that it's of really good quality. Because, like I said, the Colt 45 is still um, the hardest hitting mod that I actually own. Um, Speaking of which, do you have that aluminum one? I forgot about it all day. Oh, okay, no, keep it. You're fine. You're good. Well, I can redo it. Where you got your black and brass one too, right?
Mhm.
Your black and brass.
Yeah.
So
Right here.
Doc can fill us in on the barrel. Now, the barrel is it's not like the AV one. There's no magnet that's in between it, right? Well, you're good. But I'll redo that one so you can, because I don't know what kind of juice was on it. While he answers that, I'll be right back. Rebuild it, re-wick it. The double barrel. So, but what I did get our hands on, which is pretty cool, um, the TVL cap that I have for mine is the new version, and it's in brass. But this is pretty cool. This is the first time I got my hands on an older one that's smooth. It actually has the holes in the side. Um, this one's serial number 109. It's stainless steel, um, which is the first time I got my hands on one of these. Um, so she's using it with the aluminum and black one. So I'm getting ready to throw her a fresh build in here. Um, Stackables is definitely becoming more and more popular. So if you're looking to invest in one and you're on a budget, I would definitely highly suggest saving your money and purchasing a good quality one. I don't know what kind of screws are in here, but so yeah, that is another new thing I forgot to mention uh, that TVO did come out with. Oh yeah, my copper and black TVLs won several tube comps. Um, and most recently, I was able to actually um, stack it up against the Sub-Ohm Innovation one, which was interesting. Ah, I wouldn't mind having an authentic uh, Manhattan. That the Manhattan style um, design was actually my first mechanical mod. It was made by EPRO, EPHRO. And so I still have it. I use it from time to time. There's a lot of sentimental value to it, but I've always been a fan of the Manhattan style.
Holy cow, look at her. Look at Doc.
Doc's rocking it out there, ain't he? So I did have to do a little surgery on my goon this week. I'm not sure if you guys watch my Instagram and whatnot, but I had to do some surgery on my goon. I can't remember. It was the negative post was starting to, or yeah, it's the negative post, or was it the positive post? It was the positive post was actually starting to lean in close to the um, negative, and that is a catastrophic event just waiting to happen. So what I ended up doing is taking it all apart, cleaning it real well, and I took a very small O-ring and placed it in the channel underneath the positive post. That way it would push it back up toward the side of the goon RDA and then tighten it down. And it it did raise the positive post just a slight bit, but it worked perfectly. I have a comfortable space in between the positive and the negative post now, that I don't have to worry about it, you know, the positive touching and creating a big boom. So um, always pay attention to your equipment, guys. I can't stress that enough. Um, always double check to make sure nothing's shorting out or there's no major issues that's going to cost um, or cause any major malfunction. So, um, I didn't want to try this. So, oh, I was telling you guys about my testing against the sub-ohm innovation versus the TVL. So, oh yeah, yeah, that's one of the ones that unless something happens this week and our financial situation changes, I don't think we're going to be able to make that one.
I would love to see him though.
Yeah, it would be awesome to finally meet you guys.
How far are we from?
It's in Charlotte, right? So it's like 2, 3 hours, something like that. So, the testing against the TVL and the Able and sub-ohm innovation. Um, so this is what I've come to the conclusion. When I got the sub-ohm innovation, first thing I did was take it apart and look at the guts and everything on it to make sure it was okay, because it was used. And I ended up going through it, and the SOI Shorty does have the silver contacts, and I did run it in hybrid mode. I didn't use the 510 adapter at the top, um, so keep that in mind when I'm explaining this to you guys. I put the same build in both mods. Um, my standard sort of go-to build um, is 22 gauge immolation, um, 22 gauge immolation, 5 wrap parallel on a 3.5 millimeter bit, and I put the build was the same in both RDAs. Um, the TVL had the copper Kennedy 24. SOI used the Sub-Zero RDA, of course, and
You said 0.09?
22 gauge immolation, 5 wrap parallel, and 3.5. It's like a 0.08, 0.07. Um, so I tried to make it exactly the same, the best as I could, and my conclusions was, um, I don't know what it is about the Sub-Zero, but it doesn't seem to have the same punch as the TVL or the AWA. From initial button push, the response time was excellent, which is um, obviously the reasoning behind that is the silver contacts in the SOI. Response time was a little bit better, but as far as overall hitting and I just still prefer the TVL. I think there's still a little bit more to it as far as hitting the same as the SOI. So I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's in the design, the feature, um, and how it's made, or maybe it has something to do with the Delrin piece that houses the silver contact pin. But whatever the reasoning is, it's just when you hit the button, it just does not seem to pack that same punch as the TVL. So um, quality of the mod was good. I'm not a fan of how you have to take it apart to clean it, but it's still decent. But it wouldn't be something that I would comp with, and comp with expectations of winning. Let's put it that way. So that was sort of my thoughts on the SOI. Probably what's going to end up happening is I'm probably going to end up selling it or trading it for something else that I maybe want. Welcome, Cheryl and Whoopi Joe. I don't think I've said hi to you guys yet. Welcome to the show. And if you guys haven't done so yet, we always enjoy seeing what our fellow vape fam is vaping on device-wise and juice-wise. So feel free to share that with you guys, with us. And if you're wondering, I'm rebuilding Tanya's RDA for her mod. Let's see. Try to remember what. There we go. I'll do 7. Try to do so without stabbing myself. I stabbed myself. See, even us old vapors still have battle scars and such. I was messing with some 20 gauge earlier today and stabbed myself in the thumb. That wasn't too pleasant. So what I'm doing for her is some 20 gauge immolation, and I'm just going to do a nice 7 wrap on a 3.5. Keep it pretty mild for her. And just a second, I'll share with you guys here. I was counting if you couldn't tell. Make sure I didn't lose count. I'm using the coil jig. Right now, I did cut that one a little bit short. So I'm going to try to make it work. We'll see if it works. If not, I'll have to cut another piece. But usually when I install coils, depending on what RDA I'm using, because not all RDAs I do it for, usually I'll put a little bend in on one side, make them a little bit easier to install. Unfortunately, whatever deck this is not a very good deck. And it looks like somebody's modified it to make it fit that TVL cap, but Alright, so let's try. We'll try it. Let's see what happens. And usually when I put that little L shape in that one end of the wire, that's always on the negative post for me. So just a little tip there. Somebody's got a very good video somewhere of doing center coils really nice, centering them up real nice, but I can't remember for the life of me who it was that had that video. So let me cut the end off right here and I'll show you what I got going on one side. The 20 gauge immolation 7 wrap on 3.5 should put her up close to a 0.1. Thank you, Captain. So that's sort of what I got going on there. Like I said, that deck is just weird. I always put the cap on, twist it to make sure it's not going to touch the inside. And I gotta say, that stainless steel cap is no joke. Look at the walls on that thing. That thing's thick. Alright, so now I'm going to trim the other side down and see if I can get her in there. Let's see what this one does. Looks like that was right dead on where it needs to be.
Oh, look at the cap he's got. Oh,
Yeah.
black and silver.
Ah, black and silver.
That will look awesome.
That's probably a good thing that I don't live out there real close. Alright, so on one of the coils, one of the loops kind of got away from me, so but that's not unfixable, so I'm going to continue to roll with it. 20 gauge may have been a slight reach for this, but usually when I install, I have one perfect looking coil and the other one it's a little janky looking, but this is sort of what we ended up with. Make sure that they're as even as possible. And you can see where I said that one loop got away from me. But we'll try to fix that once we heat them up a little bit. I always double check that cap, make sure it ain't going to touch anything on the inside. And I don't hear anything grinding, so that's definitely a positive.
I told him that in November, unless they move it up early, it shows to be hit and miss.
Yeah.
Due to you having surgery.
Yeah. That is one thing I want to let you guys know about fam. As the missus has already put it out there, so they're telling me I'm going to be down 4 to 6 weeks, which it needs to be done, I guess, because I ain't getting no younger. But hopefully this is going to fix a lot of my back issues. But yeah, we'll be hit and miss on shows and comps and all that stuff. So this is normally the slow time of year when it comes to comps and everything. So it's a good time for it. Alright, so all I'm doing now is just pulsing them. See if I can get a little color in here for you guys. I got one to turn. Again, I do apologize for the crappy webcam, but I am getting some decent coils. Decent color out of the coils. If I learn how to talk, I think I'll be doing a lot better. Do a little scraping here and there. And that one that got away from me, I may end up having to go 22 on this one. I don't know yet. Depends on how hot this thing's gonna get. And just a little pulse here and there. And that top side's wanting to heat just a little bit quicker, so we want to adjust for that. I did see something interesting. I think UD got it. Yeah, that's more like it. I don't know if it's Coldmaster or UD, but one of the two companies actually came out with ceramic like bits to put in your coals when you heat them up and you're stretching them and everything. It allows you to manipulate them, heat them up, and keep the shape and form, which is super cool. Unfortunately, I've not found the set yet, but yeah, I don't know if this 20 is going to work because that mod got a little warm just for heating them up. So I may end up having to drop the 22 gauge. Such a shame because those coils did turn out awful nice. I actually want to see if I got a better deck. If this will fit. If I got a better deck. Almost. That's a shame because that would have been nice. Am I taking it? No. I'm looking for a better deck. I'm not real impressed with the deck that he had on here. So I'm looking to see if I got a better one. And I find myself doing this a whole lot too. If interchanging parts and pieces to make something work. You wouldn't believe, I know on that crispy cap that I have, the crispy cap, the Twisted Mesa Square deck fits it perfectly. And this cap must be really unusual because it's not wanting to fit anything. So I guess we are going to have to go with a 22 gauge on it. So Ah, he used a lush deck. And it looks like he done some grinding on it to get it to fit, so. But the 510 is long enough. So we're going to go down a gauge. Welcome, Vapor King. I really would like to use this deck. But it ain't going to allow me to do it, so. Now, I ain't going to do it on the show, but what I'll probably end up doing for her is I have a El Cabron RDA that I'll probably take the Dremel tool to it tomorrow and actually grind it down and smooth it out some so that will fit it. But for the time being, we're just going to go with a nice little 22 gauge build. Gauge. Do a couple pieces of this. So when all else fails, go to Kanthal. Can't go wrong with Kanthal. And what I'll probably end up doing for her is keeping it pretty simple. We may do, it'll be on a 3.5 diameter. So I'm thinking of doing probably a nice simple, I don't know, 6 or 7 wrap, I guess. It's been a while since I've worked with Kanthal, so I'm a little rusty on it. Yeah, nice little 6 wrap I think will do fine. Nice. And once I get it rolled, I'll take it off and then I'll just take my pliers and put that little L shape in it. Makes it a little bit easier to install, especially on this particular RDA combination that they got going on. One, two, three, four. Just pull it off, flip it over, straighten it out just a tad, and put that little L shape in it, and then we'll install them. We'll have to save this 20 gauge for something else. Pop those out. Stick those in there. I really need to get my other camera going. Those make it a little bit easier for you guys to watch. So for like the new for the new viewers just tuning in, we done some horse trading, and I ended up getting a stainless steel TVL cap for my wife here, and I'm just building this RDA for her, trying to figure out what's a good build for it. So what kind of device are you using, Vapor King? Alright, so this is sort of what, once I got it centered a little bit better, it's pretty daggone close on one side. Go ahead and snap this off. We did so this is what one side will look like. Working on the other side now. Nice. Yeah, I liked the design of the limitless RDTA. I thought it was pretty interesting. Alright, we're going to leave about that much to work with on this side. And the Fuchai, I still got my Fuchai, I think, somewhere. I may have to trim this down just a tad bit more. Not much though. The one thing about 22 gauge, it's very manipulable. You can manipulate it easily versus 20 gauge, that's for sure. Alright, that may be pretty good. Oh, so that's where the Fuchai went, that's right. Alright, so I'm working on getting the other side of this twisted and manipulated where I need it to be. Try to match the other side. I got to say, this Sigelli products is probably one of those products that I've beaten and banged and dropped and beat half to death, and they still work. At least. I'm usually pretty easy on my mods. Alright, let me see. Alright, that's fairly close. This side's got to come up just a touch. We'll put the battery in this one to see if it stays a little bit cooler, because that other build we had on there got a little too hot for my liking. I usually try to keep the wife's build pretty cool compared to me. I like a hot build. Alright, so we got that. We're going to install the battery again. We'll double check to make sure that it's not going to touch the Kennedy is definitely a very good RDA. I, I that's actually I'm rocking the Kennedy 24 on my TVL. Um, it was, of course, I've not been able to get my hands on a 25 millimeter or the two post 24. But it's definitely one of those RDAs that I like to keep in my. Yes, Mama is working tomorrow. Um, it is one of those RDAs I like to keep in my using or keep them in my stockpile of RDAs that I don't want to get rid of. Um, I like the Sub-Zero RDA. I don't. Yeah, that is definitely a good build. I did her a 22 gauge 6 wrap. Give her a little bit, just a touch of flavor and some clouds there. And I'm just heating them up, trying to get them to heat evenly now. But what it looks like is they took the Lush RDA deck and they've trimmed it to where the stainless steel cap would fit. I'm guessing that's what they was doing. So, all right, so pretty decent. And it's not getting overly hot, which is a plus, which is what I was shooting for. So, put the cap on, make sure it still goes good, and we'll throw some cotton in her, and then we'll let her vape. Yep, 20 gauge. I like the 20 gauge. I, I use my two favorite probably. Let's see. Well, I'll go three favorite gauges. Is probably the 20, the 22, and 24 gauge. If I'm running 24 gauge, triple parallel 5 or 6 wrap, depending on the RDA size. I like that build pretty well. If it's 22 gauge, it my go-to is 22 gauge 5 wrap parallel, and then 20 gauge. I'll do 6 wrap 20 gauge. So I got three I like using, just depending on the application. The chicken dance. So I'm gonna throw some cotton in here from the cotton candy collection, and then give it to her and let her vape it and see what she thinks. But I thought the stainless steel cap really set off that aluminum pretty well. Got a little lot. I knew Cheryl was going to come in with the butt one. Definitely. Pull some of this off. I know the Packers play the Vikings tonight. I ain't going to be able to watch it, but maybe I'll try to keep track of it on my ESPN app. Yeah, Doc, I'm out of blueberry yogurt. I'm pretty bummed. If you watch our show from last week, our juice reviewer, Christian, He did make a request. I don't know if it's possible, but we did figure it out and find that it is possible for us to vape a 55-gallon drum of blueberry yogurt from you guys. So if you guys want to hook us up with the 55-gallon drum of that, between him, myself, and my wife, I know we can vape a 55-gallon drum of blueberry yogurt and 3-Nick within a month's time. We actually took the time last week to do the math, and we can do it. But yeah, I'm pretty bummed. I ended up giving. I'm gonna have to cut back a little bit more. I ended up giving Sharon the last little bit of mine with him. So that's how much I love that kid. To give up my blueberry yogurt. Said any flavor. Oh yeah, this is gonna look awful pretty. But tomorrow I'll probably end up fixing her a better deck for it. But this will work for the time being. I'll show you guys what we got going on here. I'm kind of excited to see her vape on it, but it's got it's a lush deck. But this is what kind of appealed to me. Makes it a little top heavy, but looks pretty cool. I like that. Alright, throw that battery in there and juice her up. See what she does. Let her vape on that for a little bit. See what she thinks. So that is definitely a cool cap. Though I will say I like the Kennedy 24 a little bit better because the Kennedy 24 cap because it ain't as top heavy. And on that aluminum mod, it definitely makes it top heavy. But I've never really been a fan of the stainless steel, so I'll probably end up since I've done the test on the SOI mod, I'll probably end up trading it. But I did find a real good combo for my TBL because we was talking about the Kennedy 24 RDA, and I could, huh? Yeah. I like the Kennedy 24 is what I consider to be a good all-around RDA. It's an RDA that you can comp with. It's an RDA that you can put a flavor build in it and and have a flavor RDA. So I consider it to be a real good all-around RDA. The reason I don't use the Kennedy to comp with is because I like to control the airflow, and with the Kennedy, there's just you can't control the airflow on it unless you use the cotton to try to control the airflow, but it's way too much trouble. So through all the RDAs that I've used, and I've used a slew of them, I chose to use the Sub-Zero 24mm RDA, and I'll show you guys. and I do use it with the 510 adapter on the bottom of it on my TVL, but I found it to have, um, I love the build deck. I think the build deck's great. It actually still has my build in it from the last comp. 22 gauge immolation, I think it's 7 wrap or 8 wrap, but it may be an 8 wrap on a 3mm. But you got a decent amount of space in there to build, and I can control the airflow, so that's sort of my choice as far as comp RDA. I prefer being able to control the airflow, and cutting the airflow back on it allows me to control a little bit of the density. So like I said, the Kennedy is a great RDA. I love mine. I'm glad I have one. I did have 3 at one time, but I give one to the wife to put on her TVL, and then I ended up keeping one, and I ended up I either sold or traded the other one. I got the Goon RDA on my Able, and after using it for I think I've had this one for a month now, and you could comp with this Lagoon, though I don't feel comfortable comping with it. I think the design's a great design, and I think if they ever come out with one with a silver post, that would be awesome. That may change my thoughts on comping with one. Um, but for a flavor RDA, it is definitely on point. Fuse Clapton's in that all day long. Flavor for days. So I like the Goon RDA. I like the Kennedy. I like the Sub-Zero. Um, the Temple RDA, I got mixed feelings about because I comped with the Temple RDA, and the issue I have with the Temple is, though it has a lot of airflow options, it's hard to control. It's not as easy for me to control the airflow on the Temple versus my Mutation X running as a 2-post. You got 9 holes. That's pretty simple, and you can cut it off from one hole to wide open. And versus the Temple RDA, um, you have all those holes, and then to control the bottom of the deck on the Temple, actually you can control the bottom airflow. You can cut it off or cut it all the way on, and then you have to twist the AFC to manipulate the top airflow holes, and you actually cannot cut all the airflow to the top holes off. Um, I tried, and it leaves 2 open, so I got mixed feelings about the Temple RDA. Yeah, the cooling aspect. One of our TVL friends from South Carolina, we got to talking, and he told me he loves to do a 22 parallel. I think he said 4 wrap in his Kennedy. I was like, well, that's interesting. I've never tried a 24. I mean a 4 wrap parallel 22 gauge Kenthal. And I tried it, and I tried it 3 different times, and every time I would get a burnt hit. I could not keep it cool enough. The Mason's actually pretty good one. Christian, who placed second last night in the comp, used a Mason um, in it, so it sort of impressed me a little bit. Not sure if I want to go buy one yet, but one of the um, interesting decks that I'm interested in is the Silver Post battle deck from AV. It's piqued my interest. I want to test the silver pen in it, see if there's a big difference between it and say copper or stainless and all that. Yeah, and Jeremiah actually he bought the Mason RDTA tank, and he said he likes it pretty good. I've not been able to get one to take it apart and build on it to see how it is, but um, he said so far he's really enjoyed his, and he goes through quite a bit of tanks. Yeah, the dump tank. That's what it's called. I was trying to remember the name of it. Um, yeah, he was actually the first one I've seen with one around our area. So I'm going to wait till it's. Oh, nice. I'd love to get my hand on one of those. The build deck on that is very interesting. Welcome guest 15578. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I gotta be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, so thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with us. Cheryl, always our biggest fan. Captain, it's good seeing you in here. And Doc, thank you for dropping in and dropping some uh, now new wants on our list there with the uh, the double barrel stacked TVL. That's pretty sweet. Um, let's see. Like I said, Vape Mania is this coming weekend. I think it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday ordeal. Uh, unless something changes, we're not going to be able to attend that one. Um, but I do know October the 8th, Cloud 9 um, is having a comp in Roanoke. We'll be attending that. So in the meantime, stay tuned to our Instagram feeds. Uh, you guys already know Own Punisher and Mrs. Own Punisher. C Lavender, uh, our juice reviewer, should be back with us next Sunday night. So we'll have some juice for him to try and give you guys some downloads on that. Stay tuned this week. See, our Instagram feed. That's where I go to majority of the time. I also want to take the time to thank our sponsors. TVL definitely. Um, TGR Vapor, Cloud Chemistry Vapor. I want to thank Draco Militia, and I want to thank Two Up, Two Down, and Immolation Compwire. You guys rock. Um, you guys allow us to do what we love to do, and that's do the shows, comps, visit shops, meet people, all that good stuff. So thank you guys, and if there's any questions or anything that we can do for you, um, don't hesitate to ask. We'll do the best we can to accommodate um, the best we can. So any questions, comments, or concerns, just hit us up, guys, and thank you again. And until next Sunday, guys, I want you to vape safe, vape strong, vape on. I want you to advocate, 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 and share some of that vapor knowledge with someone this week. So stay foggy, guys.